Good morning, it is Friday and in a few hours time I'm off to London. So I'm just getting ready and I'm going to show you what I've packed, or at least what I'm going to pack. I cannot tell you how much I've agonised over that this morning, but I'm trying to really cut down as much as I can. And I'm very excited because Mum has got a brand new bag and it was sent to me by a company called Nathan Lane, that's an actor, Nomad Lane. Nomad Lane, they contacted me about 10 days ago and said, we'd like to send you this particular bag. Would you like to receive it? No obligation to post, nothing. So I said, well, yes, I would love to. It's very timely. I looked it up to check that it looked like the sort of bag that I could use and it looked great. So I thought, well, happy to try it. It's arrived and I'm going to be packing it. I've already tested it to see whether I can get everything in and I think I can. I've tried to pare down what I'm taking though, because honestly, I was just going to take far too much. So I'm very excited to show you that. So let me put my face on while I tell you what I'm up to. So I think our train leaves at about 3 and we arrive in London, so about 5ish, something like that. And we are staying at the Premier Inn in Holborn, which for those of you who don't know London is in central London. It's not that far from Covent Garden, which is great because that's nice and central and easy to get around anyway because it's near the tube and the tube can take us into town and to Selfridges most importantly because, well, actually before I tell you that, let me just tell you what we're doing tonight. Stop rushing, Des, stop rushing, we've got plenty of time. So we arrive about 5, we'll go and dump our stuff, we'll probably have a bit of a rest, then we're going to go out for dinner, probably to a place called the Noble Rot, which is in Lamb's Conduit Street. Isn't that a great name for a street? You can imagine Lamb's being conducted down the street back in the day, probably in about the 18th century or something. There's quite a lot of 18th century buildings around there, a lot of Georgian stuff. So we're going to Lamb's Conduit Street, we're going to have dinner, and then on Saturday I'm very excited because I'm going to Selfridges to get my hair blow dried, or at least washed and blow dried by Hirschesons, who have a blow dry bar in there. And I thought rather than take any hair tools with me, and obviously because it's my birthday, well, it's my birthday on Monday, which is slightly annoying, but what can you do? It's a work day for me. But I thought it'd be nice to get my hair done, then I'm all ready for Saturday night, which I'll tell you about in a sec. But also in Selfridges, I'm going to go to the VB counter and try out the new Victoria Beckham foundation drops. So very excited about that. And yes, I know they are 100 quid. Oh my God, who could spend that much money on foundation? But I am going to be 71, come on. I'm trying it out for you anyway, you know that. So that Saturday during the day, and there'll probably be a little light shopping. I'll probably pop into Marks and Uniqlo actually. I'd like to get hold of those Harper jeans feet. I really would. I'm trying, but they're always sold out online. So I thought maybe I might find them in the store. I might just check that online before we go in. So that's Saturday during the day, and then in the evening, oh dear, what am I doing? Making right pigs here of this. And then in the evening, we are going to our friends for dinner. And then we're going to see Pat Cash, the Wimbledon tennis player, the champion of, what was it, 1998 or something like that, play in a band. Now, I don't know where, but I assume it's quite near where our friends live, which is in Crouch End in North London. And I don't know what type of music he plays, but I can imagine it's a bit sort of rocky. So really looking forward to that. He does a lot of commentating on Wimbledon every year, so I've been seeing him as a commentator over the years, and he seems like a lovely bloke. Although that doesn't necessarily mean he's going to be a good musician, but it'll be really fun to watch him anyway. So that is Saturday night, and then Sunday, in the evening I'm having dinner with my kids. We're going to our favourite tapas restaurant in just off Regent Street behind Liberty's called De Hazer. Oh, it's such a good tapas place. It really is delicious. So we're going to do that on Sunday night. But during the day on Sunday, we thought we might go to an exhibition. We might go to the British Museum because neither of us have been there for donkey's years. And it's quite near where we're staying, given that we're in Holborn. We're really not far. It's probably about a 10-minute walk or something. So we might do that in the day. So that is our plan, and then Monday morning I have to go into work, so I'll be doing that, and my husband will come back on his own and I will come back later on in the afternoon. So that is the weekend. So I've been agonising about what to pack, and in the end I've pared it down to just wearing one pair of trainers, which I'm going to wear the whole time I'm there. I'm not going to take any boots or other trainers because, to be honest, we're not going to anywhere fancy schmancy. I don't really need to take anything particularly special, I don't think. I think my nice Palermo Pumas will be fine. The only thing that was bothering me, not so much about footwear, was that the temperature's looking really odd today in London. It's looking really hot, like 25. Although by the time we get there, it will be more like 21. And then it was going to be hot tomorrow, but now it looks like it's only going to be 21 max. And then Sunday and Monday gets really cool, like 16. So difficult to know what to pack. So really it's more about the tops. And I've tried to pare it down to just wearing the jeans I'm wearing now, which are comfortable, which I can wear during the day tomorrow and on Sunday in the day. Not Monday though, because it's work and I don't really like wearing jeans to the office, or I don't think I'd be sacked for it. A bit late for that now anyway. But I just don't feel right wearing blue jeans to the office. Black is fine, but blue I probably wouldn't. So I will wear the black jeans that I'm going to take and probably wear Saturday and Sunday as well. So I really just have two pairs of trousers, one that I'm wearing now, which are the blue jeans. I'll show you those in a sec. And the black jeans. I think that should be enough. I hope. Anyway, look, I'm in London. I can always go and buy something in an emergency if I needed to. But I mean, will I need to? Probably not. So that's the plan for the weekend. Right, let me finish putting my face on. I'll come back and I'll show you the new bag. So this is the Nomad Lane case, and it's really quite small, as you can see, but it seems to hold quite a lot. So let's see what we can get in it. So I've already packed some things, and it's got these little pockets with little cases inside. So I've got that little Merit set that Tamara talked about the other day, which is ideal. I didn't think it would come in time, but it did. I managed to get it from Sephora. So it's got the cleanser, the moisturiser and the toner. So I've got those in here with my sunscreen. And they fit in here. And then this little pouch, which also comes with the bag. I've just got washcloths and what have you in there. So that's very nifty. And that zips up like this. They've each got their own little zip. And then here we've got space for packing. This is where I was going to put my boots, but I'm now not going to do that because I'm not taking them. So I'll decide what I'm going to put in there in a bit. Now, you probably could put an iPad in there. Well, I'm not taking my iPad today because I've got a separate bag for my laptop, my work laptop, which I had to take. And then here I'm going to pack the rest of my stuff. So I've got my PJs. I think it might be, well, I don't know how warm it's going to be in the hotel, so I wanted to pack some PJs. And then this is what I'm going to be taking in the suitcase. This is what I'm packing. I'm not packing this, I'm going to wear this. This is one of my Quince hoodies. It gets quite chilly on the train. So I'm taking this white shirt from Uniqlo. I'm going to wear this on Saturday night. And then I've got this Arket cashmere jumper, which I'm going to take as well. So I've gone very monochrome. I've gone very sort of black, white and grey. A couple of long sleeve t-shirts from Uniqlo. Black jeans, which I'll wear with a white shirt. In fact, the black jeans are going to serve me for Saturday and Sunday night and Monday in the office as well. And then a Uniqlo long sleeve t-shirt to wear underneath, a heat tech. So you can see I've gone very black and white. And then I've got my Palermo Puma trainers, which I'm going to be wearing the whole time. Then I'm wearing these jeans. These are the ones that are a bit like the Harpers. I'll insert a picture anyway. But they're not Harpers, but they are quite loose around the waist. They remind me of some old Uniqlos I used to have years ago, so they're really comfortable. It gets really chilly on the train, so I've actually put leggings on underneath. But at the moment, I'm just wearing a t-shirt. So let me see if I can get all this stuff into the case. Now, I think this is carryable for me. What I like is that it's got the crossbody, although I probably wouldn't wear it crossbody. I'd probably just wear it on my shoulder like that, because travelling around London on the escalators and what have you, it might be easier than taking a wheelie, because I actually find wheelies on escalators, I just don't get on with them at all, and I find I have to hold them in my left hand, and I don't know, it's just a bit of a rigmarole for me, particularly as I'm quite nervous going down the escalators. I'm not so bad going up. In fact, I'm fine going up, but going down, I find them quite difficult. And Holborn in particular, which is our nearest tube station, going down with a bag, with a wheelie bag. Whereas this is just like a handbag. It's like a glorified big handbag, isn't it? So I think this is going to be much easier for me to navigate. Now, I can, of course, have it in the crook of my arm as well, and it doesn't feel too heavy. I think because I haven't got any shoes in it, I think this is quite a good move by me. So I'm going to have this, and then on top of that, I'm going to have my Uniqlo, this is a crossbody bag as well if I want to wear it like so, which I tend to. So actually, probably what I'll do is I'll wear that and then I'll carry this, and then this feels easier. Of course, the proof of the pudding will be in the eating, but it feels easier than taking a wheelie bag, which seems sort of more cumbersome somehow. So very, very pleased with this, I must say. Very delighted with it so far, but of course I'll report back after the trip, see how I got on with it. And then the other thing I will be taking is my little mini bag for when I go out in the evening on Saturday and Sunday, my little light Uniqlo bag. The only things that need to go in here now are my purse, my keys, my makeup, which I think I will put in here as well. I suppose I could put it in the other bag, I don't know. I've already got my pills in here, all my medicines, so that's good, so that can go in there. And then I think the only other thing, oh yes, I'm taking a book. Now, one of my lovely subscribers recommended Kate Moss, and I've never read, no, not the model, I've never read any of Kate Moss's books. She's Moss with an E. I know a lot of them are set in the south of France, and they are historical type novels, but my subscriber said that the female characters are very strong, and I just thought, you know, I've not read a historical novel for so long, so I'm going to take this with me, even though I'm in the middle of Precipice, the Robert Harris book, but I don't want to take that because it's a big hardback, so I thought, well, I'll take this, although this is quite heavy as well, but I'll fit that in there. And then the only other thing I need is my notebook and pen, and I think that's it. And then this is the jacket I'm taking. This is my Quilted Whistles jacket, and I'll wear my Palermo Pumas, and I think that's it. Good morning. It is Saturday, and I'm on my way to Selfridges to get my hair blow dried, well, washed and blow dried. The Hershison's blow dry bar, to be precise, located downstairs in the cosmetics hall of Selfridges. But before that, I'm going to walk from the hotel. I've just walked from Holborn, which is where our Premier Inn, which by the way is really good and not super expensive. It's kind of like a cheaper Malmaison, if you know the Malmaison chain. So I'm walking down Bloomsbury Way, which is going to lead me to Oxford Street. Well, New Oxford Street, I think it's called, the eastern end of Oxford Street, and then down Oxford Street to passing Marks and Spencer's on the way, and I'm going to pop in there and see if I can find a pair of those Harper jeans that my lovely subscriber Fee was suggesting she would like to see me try, so I'm definitely going to try those out. I would quite like to look for a different pair of jeans as well, maybe some that are just a little bit wider at the bottom, but not like bell bottoms or anything like that, but maybe just a little bit wider. I'm wearing my straight legs at the moment, the Siennas, so I'm just going to see, and maybe Uniqlo will have some, I don't know. Anyway, I'm going to try that, then I'm going to go to Uniqlo later, but probably after the hair. And of course, one of the things I'm really excited about is I'm going to try out the Victoria Beckham, well, I'm going to purchase, let's not put too fine a point on it, I'm going to purchase the Victoria Beckham foundation drops. 100 quid's worth, I know, but it is my birthday, come on. So, we had a nice breakfast in Lamb's Conduit Street. I'm going to try not to have anything, maybe just a tiny little salad before we go out this evening, because that croissant has weighed quite heavily on my tum. So I'll see how I get on, but I think walking all the way to Selfridges will be good for me. I can kind of partially work it off, or walk it off even. So that is the plan for the day. Then probably after Selfridges I'll come back to the hotel, and no doubt I'll want to have a lull, although actually I have to say I slept quite well last night, longer than usual, about 7-ish hours, maybe slightly longer even than that, which is really something for me. So I may not need a nap, but I probably will. And then we'll get ready to go out this evening to see Pat Cash. So I finished my shopping, had my hair done, although it's dropping like flies. Well, it's dropping dramatically. I think she gave me a bit of a Farrah Fawcett, which wasn't quite what I was after, but hopefully when it's dropped a little more it'll look better. I've also tried out the Victoria Beckham foundation, and spoiler alert, I bought it. And I also bought the blush drops, or whatever they're called, so of course I will be showing those to you at some point, but not in this video. I think we'll have to have a dedicated one for such luxury products. I've also bought, I'm so excited, a pair of jeans, which I cannot wait to show you, from Marks, another pair of jeans, but really fab. So I'm really excited about that. I also popped into Uniqlo. Now I'm walking down South Molton Street, which leads to, well, eventually leads to Regent Street. I'm just going to pop into the restaurant that we're going to tomorrow night to ask them to add an extra seat, because my grandson's going to come, which is great. So even though it's a school night, so really excited about that. Oh, I'm just passing Anushka, which is one of my favourite jewellery shops, or at least where my husband's bought me a lot of jewellery. Oh, and I can feel the rain, so I'm going to try and get out of it now. Good morning, it's Sunday and a beautiful, sunny but quite cool day, quite a contrast to yesterday. Now I'm sitting in Lincoln's Inn Fields, which is in the heart of legal London. So around this square are loads of beautiful buildings housing very high-end solicitors' firms, and then just beyond this are the collection of barristers' chambers. So if you're not familiar with the British legal system, we have two sets of lawyers. We have barristers and we have solicitors, and generally speaking, although that has changed a lot over the years, solicitors are the first port of call if you have a grievance or if you are accused of crime. And then in terms of advocacy, once it gets to court, if it gets to court, that's when the barrister steps in, often at the last minute, to plead your case in court. So traditionally that's how it's been, although nowadays there are lots of solicitor advocates and also what they call direct access barristers. So the plan is today to go for breakfast about 10, get back to the hotel about 11 to watch Keely Hodgkinson, who is a British runner in the 800 metres final at the World Championship, and then after that is to go out possibly to the British Museum, and then much later on, 6:45 this evening, we're meeting my daughter, son and grandson for dinner at De Hazer, which is our favourite tapas place in Ganton Street, just behind Liberties. So that's how the day's going to pan out. Last night, by the way, Pat Cash was so good. I'll insert a little clip of him. I can't add the music track because of copyright issues, but suffice to say he was really good. He's very short, but seemed really pleasant. He's 60. I didn't realise he was 60. He won Wimbledon once. I can't remember what year it was in. I'll have to look it up. I think it was the late 90s. Anyway, he seemed like a lovely guy. He sang and played guitar really well. It was kind of like a pub rock band sound and really good. And we all had a little bop, which was great. So I'll now take you on a little wander around legal London. I'm back from London. I'm 71 and I'm okay about it. I was actually quite emotional yesterday because so many of you sent so many lovely messages, because I got so many lovely messages from my friends and family, and I don't know why, but it just made me feel quite emotional. I suppose because I'm now into that 70s decade. I've passed 70, I've got over that hump, which was emotional in itself because my mum hadn't made it to 70, but now I'm actually in my 70s, I'm in that decade. And it's like new territory almost. I don't know, it feels like I'm exploring a new decade, I suppose, a new way of being. And I suppose it's all bound up with retiring, and in a couple of weeks I won't be going into work anymore. And that felt quite emotional when I was in the office yesterday. Actually, I had to sort of check my emotions, make sure I didn't start to blubber, because it is going to be a big change, and I am going to miss my colleagues who have been fantastic for the most part, except for the first couple of years, but we won't go into that now. When I've left work, I might tell you about that, but not at the moment. But the last 6 years, the last 6 years have been so good. So yes, it's been an emotional time, but we're back and I've got my face on and I'm ready to face the day. I've got a normal day's work today. In fact, I've got a full rest of the week's work. I don't finish till Friday afternoon. Also, him indoors, as I like to call him, or Mr. Des, or my husband, is going to see his family on Thursday. So I'm going to be on my own until Monday of next week. Actually, he's away for 4 nights. So that'll be an interesting time for me because it's the first time I'll have been on my own in this house. No, I didn't really. But I won't have the car, so I will have to walk everywhere. Or I might actually try getting the bus, because we seem to be very well served here for buses. So I might check them out and maybe I'll take a little trip to Leiston or something just to see if I can. And of course I'll take you with me if I do that, but that'll be for next week's vlog. So just before we close out this vlog, of course, I want to show you these. These are the Victoria Beckham foundation and the Victoria Beckham colour wash. Is it colour wash? And the Victoria Beckham colour wash. So this is a blush, liquid blush, or liquid blush drops actually, and this is the foundation. I know, it's over 100 quid. I know it's ridiculous, but I really wanted to give it a go. So at some point I will be doing a dedicated video on these products. Now, just before we finish, I wanted to mention this bag again, because I thought I would update you on whether this type of bag was any good for me rather than a wheelie bag. And do you know what? The answer is yes, it worked an absolute treat. So I think this bag has been a really great find. Well, it was a find, it was a discovery for me, but very kindly sent to me. Now, these bags do cost around £250. I think this one does, or 230. Of course, I'll put all the details down below for you. I don't have a discount code or anything. This was literally just sent to me. So that's it. Let me know in the comments if you're enjoying these types of vlogs. I think you are, because what I'm finding interesting is I'm actually getting slightly more views on some of my vlogs than I am on my Sunday videos. So that's quite interesting, although I think I'd find it difficult to drop the Sunday style of video. But I am enjoying doing these vlogs, and it looks like you're enjoying watching them, which is fantastic. But let me know in the comments. Let's have a chat. I really look forward to reading your comments and chatting with you. And if you have enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. And if you'd like to hear more from me, I have my newsletter, which comes out twice a month, and the link to subscribe to that is in the description box below. And thank you so much for watching. It means the absolute world to me. It really does. And I hope you're all doing really well. And I look forward to seeing you on my next video on Sunday. Bye.